over to our YouTube. And it looks like we are good. So welcome, everybody. It is, yes. Okay, you're making sure that you're booping everybody, Katie. Yes, I saw that. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. It is 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, or whatever time it is it happens to be where you are watching us either right now or pre-recorded, because you have access to it because you are part of the inner circle. Welcome. It is the breakthrough session version of the Inner Circle, and we're so glad to have you with us today. A couple of quick things before we get started. First of all, thank you. And I wish I could say thank you 6,954 more times, because we have 6,955 subscribers to our channel, and a lot of it has to do with you sharing. So thank you so very, very much. We appreciate you, and we love each and every one of you for helping to spread the word and getting people to join the Robert Hollis channel, and of course eventually come to us here in the Inner Circle. Got to say welcome to 2 new members of our Inner Circle who just joined this week, and thank you very much. I don't know if they're watching. I don't see their names here, but I'm going to mention them anyways, because if they watch the replay, they will hear it. So give a nice round warm round of applause, or applause round warm, to Kimmery Horde and Wanda Henderson. Thank you guys so much for being a part of our Inner Circle. We appreciate you. We're so glad to have you on board with us, and we're excited to have you share with us as well. And Lisa Marie, thank you so very much. She just posted in YouTube a donation of $10. Robert is amazing.
Thank you very much. So, the kids will love it.
Thank you. If you do also want to donate, and hi, Kimmery. I see her in the YouTube chat. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to join us in the Zoom chat, the link is at the top of the YouTube chat. Just click on where it says Zoom link and then come on in. Remember, this is only for exclusive members, and that's why we are glad to have you with us, because you are part of the Inner Circle. All right. So, yeah, and if you do want to donate, of course, all the donations do go to Robert's charitable organizations. Click on that $ in the box below in the Zoom chat, and the monies will go to Robert's organizations. And finally, if you do want to participate, okay, sorry, on duty. All right, well, we're glad to have you with us, Kimmery. If you want to join us and share with us here in the Inner Circle, of course, many of you know how to do it. I'm still going to explain it for those that may not. Very easy. Click on the either the reactions button down below here in Zoom, or if it's not there, click on the more button and then click on reactions and then click on raise hand, and that will allow us to call on you. And I think somebody was, okay, I thought maybe Anthony just did it, but anyways, so that's how we are asking you to participate, because this is where we go in further one-on-one with Robert, and you get to do that personally. If you don't, if you still just want to ask a question and then have Robert answer it, that's okay. Type the questions into either of the Zoom or the YouTube chats, and we will ask it on your behalf. And James Saunders, thank you so very much for being a member for 8 months here as part of the Inner Circle. It just showed up on YouTube. We appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so very much. With that, let's get things rolling here. Of course, we have to open it up with the gentleman who we are here with. The reason why we are here, in this gentleman, a dear friend, our mentor, and GPS to success. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Robert Hollis.
Oh my God, had a little glitch there.
Oh, that was on purpose.
Well, thank you so much again, Craig, the hostess with the mostest, and thank you to all the Inner Circles here. I know the children really love it. It's I was just able to send them another donation, and it's just amazing. I don't know if I shared this with you guys, but Angel and Matthew reached out to me, and they said, you know, isn't it interesting when you get to choose your gift And I went, what? And she said, well, you've been so wonderful with your donations over the years, and we've always giving kids new uniforms for school for the whole year. That's nuts to me. So, the dresses for the girls and the outfits for the boys. And she said, is there any way that I want to raise enough money this year where we can create 3 colors of each? Because I want each girl and each boy to be able to pick the color that they want. And she said that she just thought that, without getting too deep, she goes, for those that believe in a higher creator, that the gift that we have over animals is the ability to choose. And so she wanted to make sure that these children had the ability to choose. So it's because of our donations, all the people that donated, that allowed us to be able to do that. So I just wanted to give you that praise report and thank each and every one of you for helping me, helping us do that. So then the only other thing I want to say before we really get into it is I had a few people reach out to me after the last Inner Circle, just because I was opening up my heart and just sharing it with you guys. And a couple of people go, what do you mean you're not training us anymore? And I want to explain that really quick without going into depth. What I meant to say that I didn't get across correctly, and I apologize, is what I meant is I believe that all the stuff that I'm doing my best to teach you to do is not possible without you focusing on getting connected. Because the magic that I have, that I know I have, is because I believe I have it. So I'm not going to guard myself anymore on these. I'm really going to open up to you guys. So I already told a lot of you that, it would be easier for me to share with you the religions, organized religions that I didn't become part of in my younger years, just because I was being passed from home to home to home, right? So it's funny, you live with one family, they're Baptist, you live with another family, they're Catholic, you live with another family, they're Lutheran, you live with another family, they're Native Indians. And so, again, I can find positive in all of them, but every once in a while it was like, whoa, it's like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. And so I was always this person that was always seeking, and even found out through the years that I was seeking and get involved in certain groups that I now believe without a shadow of a doubt that some of the organizations I was with was a cult. There was this one called The Way. And I wasn't with them long, but I was like, oh, this is sort of messed up. And so I say all that to say to you guys that, as we're trying to find our way, I shared this with my son, Kyle, and I hope you guys really see this very, very quickly. My son right now my youngest son, Kyle, is making a lot of decisions on what he wants to do moving forward. And I just told him that, don't you find it interesting? And you guys have already heard this, but for you guys to hear that me reshaping is really helping my youngest son. So I just said to him straight out, I just said, don't you find it interesting that your mother and father have done their very best to help you when we didn't get an owner's manual? And we were raised by people that didn't have an owner's manual, that was raised by other people that don't have owner's manuals. And I said, do you find it interesting, Kyle, that me and your mother are still consistently finding what the next level is for us? And we're in our 60s. So this quandary that you're in is not only happening to you in your 20s and your 30s, but I just need you to know that probably by your 60s, you're still going to be going, now what do I do? Now what's next? I just believe that we're constantly becoming more aware, and we just keep going to different levels, right? And so it became very, very apparent for me that my thoughts, because of the way that I was brought up, that I never had a father. And the father that I do slightly remember, there's not one positive thought I've ever had about my father, my biological father. So in this introduction to me, at 18 in a prison cell, a federal prison cell, I get introduced to what I believe is my heavenly father. Now, for those of you that don't believe, just whatever you would call it other than heavenly father, just say that. Or I don't even believe it exists. Well, that's okay too. I'm just telling you, for whatever reason, I started to believe that I now not only was a miracle, but I knew that I was created to create. And if some of you don't know why I magically go through life creating stuff, is because I believe I have help. I feel I have an advantage over people that don't think they have an advantage. Is that fair? So when I talk about prospecting or anything, do you guys realize that I know without a shadow of a doubt that if I start going through the numbers, that I will find the people that will help me achieve my dream? Zero doubt. Zero doubt. So I can guarantee you the way that I connect with people, even though I tell you guys how I'm doing it, I can guarantee you when I connect with people that I'm instantaneously being led to say the things that I need to say to get them to know, like, and trust me. And then as I build that trust, that's when they feel they can trust me to introduce me to the best person they know. And I now know that if you don't figure that part out, then the rest of the stuff that you're learning from me and others is just a waste of time. And I'll tell you why it's a waste of time. Because the definition of learning is changed behavior. And so I did get this from Alex, and I just love it. So, I show you a red card, and then I slap you. And I slap you hard enough to get your attention. And you're like, what is that? Why did you do that? And then I smile at you, and I show you the red card again. If you don't move away, if you don't put up your arms, if you don't do something to stop me from slapping you, I'm going to slap you again. Now, you have the knowledge that I'm going to slap you. You're aware that that could happen. But if you don't change your behavior, like moving away or ducking or just getting away so I can't touch you, that is learned behavior. Does that make sense? So where I've been struggling is I do my best to pour my heart out to share with everyone exactly the things they need to do. But their behavior doesn't change. So that's what got me to where I am now, because the behavior is not changing, because I have unconditional faith in my belief of a result that I'm going to get. And that's where those phrases come from. What would you do different if you knew for a fact you couldn't fail? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? That's sort of like a mind trick to get you into the place that you need to be, expecting a result. Does that make sense? Because if you think about the way that we're programmed, the reason we study a test, the reason that we cram for a test, the reason that we try to memorize is so when we take the test, we believe that enough of this information is going to come out to allow us to pass the test and get to the next grade. So we're normally taught to we only have to learn something for a small amount of time, right? And we just do those little mundane things until we get what we want. Well, what happens when no one expects anything from you? Well, now we got to sort of expect something for ourselves. So now it really changes our behavior. Is it easy to do? Yes, it is. Is it easier not to do? Yes, it is. So now we're in this constant loop of procrastinating, not believing in ourselves, sort of lying to ourselves. Well, listen, if I did what Robert told me and I could quit my job and I'm making 20 grand a month, that probably wouldn't really change anything. I don't need that kind of money anyway. So then we always go, and so then we just keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. So the whole concept of what I meant to say, if some of you got a different perspective of what I'm saying, is I really understand that with the inner circle, I'm going to do my very, very best to teach you how to get that connection to that other you. See, here's where we all of a sudden, get into this crazy place where people try to think it sounds like religion, organized religion, or pie in the sky stuff, is when you have to delicately talk about words. So we hear this well-being. Oh, what the hell is a being? Well, your inner being. Like a human being? So that's what I want to do my very best with each and every one of you moving forward, is to get you to trust yourself, get you to love yourself, get you to get this interconnection with yourself so that you can tap into this connection so you can get real-time inspiration that inspires yourself and others. See, I've never, ever said that ever, ever, ever. So my goal with the inner circle is to help you learn to trust and think for yourselves. Because if you don't do that, then you're going to listen to other people and you're going to consistently looking for the shortcut and the shiny ball. So you're not going to do the thing that you are supposed to learn to trust yourself with. It's like, well, that's why they sometimes say, I'm just going to wear a bracelet. What would Jesus do? Or wear a bracelet. What would Robert do? You know what I mean? It's really, really in a weird place where you got to do that. So when I started learning the stuff that I teach you guys, that I learned from my mentors, Roger Penske, really miss Professor Bitts. I don't say his information enough. Mr. Bitts was my professor in college that really, really seen that I had some uniqueness and I was different. Do you guys realize, not bragging, I went to college to learn to be an automotive engineer when I had a Vega in the parking lot with a 750 horsepower motor in it. That on weekends I took drag racing, and then I would drag race it and sell the car at the end of the year to build a new one. But my uncle told me that I needed to get this piece of paper from a college because then everyone would take me serious. And he was right. Because once I got that degree and I got that gold certificate, that's what led my doors open until my lack of feelings of impacting other people led me to what I'm doing now. Does that make sense? So, you can't, for those of you that do pray, you can't ask and surrender all and then ask to be led in the right direction. And when they do that, when you say that, you mean that all of a sudden the universe just starts slamming doors on you. And you go, oh, I was waiting. It's free choice, it's free will. You said to do this. So slam, slam, slam. And then all of a sudden we go, hang on. I know that I got that whisper to do this thing, but because I don't trust myself and I don't believe I can do it, and everyone else is telling me not to do it, then I'm going to go get this thing and do this thing to make money. A year goes by, a year goes by, a year goes by, a year goes by. And you're like, why isn't this being blessed? Because you're still not doing what I told you to do. Just go back, get to that quiet place and say, what was that thing that you whispered to me that I didn't listen to? And for me, you guys, I told you this, that's unlimited wisdom for me. So when you learn the stuff that I'm going to be teaching moving forward, then I already taught the skills in the earlier inner circles that if someone came in today, they might be a little blown away about what I'm telling them to do. But if they needed to know other things, I've already done plenty of videos showing exactly what to do. And I'll start by saying this. How many of you know for a fact that you don't trust yourself enough or you don't even ask yourself the questions that you ask me? Because I do that. I do that. I'm always asking myself, I got to find a way to get a deeper connection. I got to find a way. Wouldn't it be neat to just be guided 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, instead of being in these little pockets? What if I could be in the tractor beam all the time, not short periods of time? And so when I do that, this is how my world works. And let me see if you think about this. So I'm going, yeah, that would be really cool. I'm going to think about that. And then the thing that I think about the most comes to me. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I hear about Vision Lakhani. And Vision Lakhani has wrote this book called The Code to the Extraordinary Mind. And that leads me to the 6-phase meditation. Got it. This is it right here. And then I dive in and it works because, wait a minute, I asked for this and I believe in it. Then why in the hell wouldn't it work? Because I just dive all in, right? And then I get there and all of a sudden it's like, well, this still didn't get me to where I was really asking. So then I hear that he owns the Jose Silva, the Silva method, the meditation method. So he got this from Jose Silva. So I buy that course and I go through that course. And instead of spending all the money, has any of you ever bought that course? Here's what the course tells you to do. Is instead of straightforward, just look up about 12 degrees. And what you're supposed to do is imagine in your mind's eye a vision of what you want to have happen in your life. There, now you don't have to spend $300-400. So your goal every day or multiple times a day is to have this vision and get emotionally attached to experiences that you're going to have for you and your loved ones in the future. There. So I tell you, so now all of a sudden, I sort of do what I do and everything works and I keep focusing on what I want to. And then I go, you know what? I still want to be more connected. Oh, I heard about this transcendental meditation. So I send it out to Craig and send it to people and look at it and dive in. And what I know now is that as soon as I see any kind of lack of allowing, this is called resistance. If there's any feeling that I have of resistance, now I'm a little older, hopefully a little wiser. And so as soon as I see a little resistance, I wait. Hey, wait a minute. What the hell's going on here? So I go on the website. There's supposed to be a certified trainer here. They say that the only way that transcendental meditation works is you got to be one-on-one with a certified trainer. And they will give you the word that you need, that you got to have, so that you can get into this state of meditation. And I go, hey, I got money. I don't care. So I set an appointment, and that person no longer lives there. And then I have a person that reaches out to me from Bozeman, Montana. Now that's like 2.5 hours away. And I go, can't we do this on Zoom or something? They go, no, it's got to be meet one-on-one, and you got to pay based on how much you make. What? So yeah, the secret word for me in this one-on-one is going to cost like $4,000, right? And all of a sudden, I go, just too much resistance. And then I get really quiet and I hear, why don't you ask me for the word? Did that hit any of you? So it's like we can't trust ourselves from what to say to a person. We're not supposed to trust ourselves to where to look for people. We don't trust ourselves in the way that we know that we feel the best way to connect with people. See, we always got to listen to everybody else and what the fuck they say. And so then what we do is we go, oh my God, Jody came up with a really good idea. Let me try that. And as I'm doing what Jody's telling me to do, there's instantaneous resistance. Because that's for Jody, that's not for Robert. So then Robert, remember this book that you tell everyone to read? Yeah. What's that last sentence? That God memorandum, that last sentence. Let me go look really quick. Oh, that I'm supposed to count my blessing. I'm supposed to proclaim my rarity. Go the extra mile and wisely use my power of choice. God dang it. Why do I keep listening to everybody else? I don't know. Maybe we're programmed that way. Hi, Katie. It's nice that you came into class today. Make sure you don't speak unless you're spoken to. And let me tell you what you need to think. Then Katie's parents get a phone call. And it's like, listen, we're trying to get Katie to focus and pay attention, but she talks to all the other kids. And when she gets in trouble for talking to other kids, then she's definitely not paying attention. She's definitely not paying attention. So every time I'm talking, she's looking out the window, she's waving at a bird in the tree. It's like, so if you guys are people like, Lisa Marie is celebrating a birthday, but we and her are doing some chatting today. And it's like, why do we always say to ourselves that we got to be doing something wrong? I got to be doing something wrong. Yeah, there's something fucked up about me, that's for sure. Because we don't trust ourselves, right? So think about how crazy we are. We're like, I don't trust me. I'm going to listen to other people that are not me. I'm going to do what they think is right for them, and I'm going to apply it to me, and then I suck at it. Wow. Wow, you just figured that out? Did that help you guys? So if you don't have the results that you've always wanted in your life, how about this is 2024, the year or more? Why don't we spend the rest of 24 fucking listening to ourselves? It can't get worse, can it? Let's just spend a whole year going, I'm going to do this. Because I promise you, that will get you to the next thing. 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 If you watch any kind of sport, the people that are the best at that sport do things their way. Wow, it just hit me. I got a good download. Frank Sinatra, maybe he knew it all along. I did it my way. I did it my way. I don't have to do it like anybody else. I'm just going to do it my way. Hey, how's that for the theme of this first inner circle, huh? The unlimited wisdom side. So, questions again can be about anything. And just know that I'm going to probably get you to say, so, Bill, what do you think about that? What would you do in this scenario? Well, to be honest with you, Robert, I don't trust myself. I don't like myself. I don't love myself. That's why I'm asking you. Okay, great. We got to get some answers from Bill for Bill. You guys like this? Okay, so Craig, take it away. I love and appreciate y'all.
All right. Well, thank you so very much. And oh, this is going to be good, ladies and gentlemen. Can't wait. First of all, before we start bringing people on board, got Jerome Marshall, Katie Sanders, John Tier, Bill Shoemaker coming up. But I got to give shout outs to Jerome Marshall and James Saunders for donating with the super chats.
I love you guys. Love you.
So,
the children are going to love you.
Yes. Thank you so much. And again, if you want to donate to the super chat, if you're on YouTube, it's that little square at the bottom of the chat with the $sign in it. Click on that, and all the donations go to the organizations that Robert supports.
Hey, do you guys know? Sorry to interrupt, Craig. Do you guys know that the stuff that I share with the children in the orphanages are usually the stuff that are the key points in the masterminds that we have together? So whether you want to believe this or not, I know where two or more are in the midst. Then we get to use the master's mind. So we all think together, and there you go.
Fantabulous. All right, Bill Shoemaker, since Robert already called you out, let's go ahead and open you up and please share.
Thank you, the incredible Craig Jackman. You're amazing, brother. The best actor and introducer of all time.
No doubt,
my friend. Thank you.
So yes, thank you, Robert. Amazing. I'm still working on that manual too, that owner's manual. And I'd like to thank you for the way you changed it up. I approached my son differently. He likes doing Bitcoin and stuff. Yeah. And I said, instead of worrying about connecting all these people, get really good at trading, which he's made some money at, and do videos on it and show other people how to do it. Because that's what you like to do, right?
Brilliant.
So Abraham Hicks says, one person connected to the universe is more powerful than millions that are not.
And we all know that there's a lot of people that are unconnected.
And you brought something out too. I like, have you ever heard of Sadhguru?
Is that where the word guru came from?
Well, what it means is self-taught.
What?
What it means is self-taught.
Does guru really mean that?
That's what it means. So
I had no idea. Thank you, Bill.
He hasn't learned from anybody. He said he just learned from the universe. So there you go. You hit it right on the head. So
good.
Just want to thank you for that.
When you're in the tractor beam, you can make some stuff happen.
I got it. I mean, I know that I know, and I'm connecting more and more and more to my higher power. And thanks to you and the universe, I'm getting a lot better at that owner's manual.
I love you, man.
Yeah, I love you
too. For those of you that want to come up with an idea for a YouTube channel, how about this one? How about you create videos talking about certain things that should have been in the owner's manual that you should have been given when you were a kid?
Awesome. There you go. Hey, I'm no longer doing lives.
I wish that I could tell my 5-year-old self this, my 10-year-old self this, my 16-year-old self this.
Well, you
Because,
still can.
well, the difference would be in the video, you would say that I wish I would have known this back then, but you're actually to end up talking to people that are at that age that actually catch that.
All right. So I'm no longer doing lives. Thank you for that.
What a
And
lesson learned.
I'm making little short videos on my manifestation cards,
Good.
putting them on reels and shorts on YouTube, and I like doing it. I enjoy it.
How close are you to monetizing your channel?
Well, not near as close as Lisa Marie did it, but
Yeah.
I see that I had to be consistent. So
Yeah,
really
imagine this, you guys. Lisa Marie felt prompt to do a short video on her YouTube channel. It's like a minute just talking about what Buddy's Place was going to be. And because her channel's monetized, someone watched the video and donated to her.
There you go.
Wow. Wow.
So just have to be consistent. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about. Doing it
Yeah.
every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll happen. I know that I know it will. So
Oh, there's no doubt. No doubt.
yeah.
Thank you, Bill. I love and appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Love and appreciate you too. Everybody here.
Bill, thank you so much. Who's your little friend there, Bill?
This is Isabella, or Izzy.
Izzy.
I got her to take care of my mom when she was, when I was taking care of her, and now Isabella takes care of me.
Nice.
Yeah. She's a little doll for sure.
Welcome, Izzy.
Say hello, everybody. Hi.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Bill, thank you so very much.
I just posted something in YouTube that I sent Lisa Marie that I wanted to send you guys. This video is this girl, I believe she's in Oregon or Washington, and she sells real estate, and she does videos on these mini homes, these really small homes. And so this short video is her starting her YouTube channel and how none of her videos were getting anything. And then her channel got monetized, and she did a short video, and the video was, wow, my YouTube channel is now monetized and I'm making money. And I think that video got 2 million views.
Wow.
So a lot of people chat in there about where's your updated video, because that was a year ago. I think she made like $1,000.
Starting the YouTube channel. I would love for this.
$1,000 or something. And then she made 12,000. The next year she made 15,000. And I think it's funny because her story is pretty interesting, because she started doing videos and then all of a sudden she's not consistent. Bill, thank you for bringing that up. That made me think about it. And she actually made more money in 2023 than 22, and she did less videos. So of course it only went up by 3,000, but she found that seed on a bamboo tree that all of a sudden, as it's not growing and we want to give up and this is stupid, and then one of her videos hits and everybody watches the rest of her videos, and then bam. So I thought you guys would relate to this girl more than some people do to me, because they're going like, geez, Robert's like, it's like, so yeah.
All right. I posted that video in both chats, so people can take a look at that.
Good.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get us some more views.
All right. We've got Jerome Marshall, Katie Sanders, but first, before those two, Mr. John Deere, please go ahead, open up, and share with us.
Downtown John Deere.
That's the tractor. John Deere.
John Deere.
I don't know how many times I've heard that too.
What
Really?
about Dear John?
Do you do you actually does that always like click in your head when someone says John Deere?
Yeah, yeah. When they say John Deere all the time. I'm like, yeah, yeah. No, oh, never heard that before.
Yeah,
Man,
my people, I don't know why people when I was young called me Hilux. I don't know, like I was like a whitener or a bleach or something. I don't know.
okay. Well, I had people call me Stick Man because I was so skinny when I was small, you know.
Dick man, holy
Stick
cow.
Man, right.
Boy, kids can be cruel, can't
Oh
they?
man, no kidding.
And that's why some adults are cruel because they haven't grown up.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Well, Robert, I got my book in from Abraham Hicks, and I started it like the same day, like on Sunday. And there has been such a shift in what's going on in terms of my thinking and being able to recognize what is resistance, what is not, and which is really, really huge.
It's huge.
And I tell you, so I started on Sunday, and I'm used to meditating. You know, I like to meditate, um, but her meditation is different.
Yeah.
It's really, really different because it actually reminds me of a lot of Chinese martial arts because
Yes,
when you meditate in Chinese martial arts, it's about the breathing. It's
it
always about
is.
the breathing. And so that was I was used to that. But I went into an instant state on Monday. I was at the pool and we were doing things that we hadn't done before, and you know, and then like my leg was starting to hurt, and I got to the point where I was like, I'm not going to do any more of this stuff. You know, and I actually got out of the pool. I was sitting on the side of the and everybody else was going down, and he told us to do something that I hadn't done before. We were wearing these flippers, and we are supposed to go down on our back all the way to the deep end. I never did that before. And so there are a couple of things that I have in my head now from reading The Greatest Salesman in the World. You know, failure will never overtake me if my determination is great enough to succeed. You know, so
And
that was the one thing I started telling myself. I said, okay, well, I'm not going to quit. I want to, but I'm not going to. So I got back in the water, and then I breathed deep for about 4 or 5 times. You know, and just and then I just shut everything out and got on my back and went down there. And the instructor was like, wow, that was the smoothest, you know, that I've seen you do all day long. That was the best. And everybody else was saying, man, that was the best. You know, now all the other times I was so in my head, I couldn't really do what I needed to do. And then that moment I was like, you know what? I'm going to shut everything out and I'm just going to just and so that down and back, and then yesterday I did like 11 laps in the pool. I'd never done that before.
wow.
You know, I mean, 4 lengths all the way down and back. You know,
I
I
get tired.
stopped in
I
between.
get tired. I get tired getting in the pool. That's
You know,
impressive, John. That's
so
impressive.
yeah. Matter of fact, now they're talking about, well, you should come over to the master swim team. I'm like, excuse you.
Wow.
So I'm like, I just came here to learn how to breathe when I swim. Now you guys talking about you want me to go to the master. I said, well, let me consider it.
Well,
Um,
because you're getting into the tractor beam,
yeah,
uh, they see skills that you don't think you have.
that's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the other thing is
Like
that
I'm not ready to graduate, and everyone goes, "No, I've seen people that graduated, and you're there." It's like,
right.
no, no,
Yeah, it's
no.
about what they said too. It's like you don't need to be in this beginner and intermediate anymore. You need to be over
Yeah,
there. I'm like, that's not what my mind says.
that's great, John.
Yep. So that happened. And then there's some other things that have kind of been just as I begin to just relax about life in general,
Yeah,
and when something comes my way that doesn't look like, you know, it should be happening the way that I like it, I just kind of now just say, well, it is happening the way it should happen, and allow it to be.
We become, there's certain groups that'll say let go and let God, but they don't.
Right, right,
They don't.
right.
And if you're an allower, there's something that you guys know that there's a lot of stuff after 37 years that I do unconscious. I really love being in the not thinking mode,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
allowing mode. And I've had so many people, John, that have told me, man, I don't know what it is about you, but man, your fear of loss skills are off the frickin' chart. And what they're sensing that I'm not doing is I'm not pressuring them.
Right,
So
right.
the outside world is always trying to manipulate, say something, come from a different angle, never
Yes,
pausing,
yes.
just regurgitating and throwing up
Action,
on
action,
somebody.
action, action.
Yeah. All in my head, coming up with, oh, I heard how to handle this objection. Um, the stuff I say is led. And so when people go, well, to be honest with you, I'm just too busy for this. And I go, and that's exactly why you need it.
Hmm. Yeah. Because I've changed my whole morning ritual.
The drones that you're looking for are not
Right.
here. So
Right.
so when I don't jump on them when they come up with something, then they're like, this guy doesn't give a shit if I get in or not. And I'm not doing that psychology wise. I'm not doing it to manipulate someone to get them to do anything. So that's why I've always had this resistance of why would you say all this stuff to close somebody on a big package? And what I was saying to myself, John, that I'm going to get better at being able to communicate with you guys is I'm saying, why would you do that to somebody if you don't even fucking know them? You don't know them. You don't know what they're desiring. You don't know what you haven't given them a plan to make it happen. You just want to get their money.
Yes.
And so the reason that I'm so against that, and now I'm going, wow, the person that did that didn't know any better. They never took the time because they learned from somebody else that this is the way it should be. And so if I get the person connected, if I focus more on showing them how to get connected, they'll come up with that conclusion on their own.
Hmm.
So I don't want to sound to you guys moving forward like it doesn't sound like Robert ever gives a shit about what I do in the business anymore.
No,
You
I
see what
know
I
what it
mean?
is. I know what it
Because
is, Robert.
because if you're not connected, that's why you're feeling resistance. You're starting to do something that you're getting. I used to say this one too, John, and it always blew me away when I said it. I said, you know why you're not finding the right people? Is because the universe knows that you'd hurt them.
And you know what, Robert? When you say that, to people, um, if you're not at a certain type of thinking, that's gonna go way over someone's head.
Totally.
Yeah. But you're telling them a real deep truth that most people can't fathom. Because everybody thinks they're all right. What I'm doing is okay.
Why would you tell me that the universe is stopping me from finding people?
Right. Exactly. But really, maybe it's not the universe, maybe it's you.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's what it really comes down to.
Yeah, it
It is,
is.
it really is. It's because you're either resisting something or you're allowing something.
Yep.
And either you're doing it consciously or unconsciously.
And
But
it's either faith or fear.
there, that's exactly it. And you know what? I've even gotten to the point now where I'm beginning to not even tell people what I'm actually doing.
Yeah,
Um,
make them pull it out of you.
right, right. Because I also realized that everyone that smiles at you is not necessarily with you.
Yeah,
And so,
and working with people that are obviously unconnected,
mhm,
boy. So then they're unconnected, and then you get pissed off at them because they're always doing the next shiny thing.
yeah, it's their journey though, isn't it?
Yeah, and so they're doing this, they're doing this, they're doing this, they're doing a million things that are all shiny things that are not working, and they keep telling you that,
Yeah,
and you just go like, "Wow." John,
yeah.
how did it make you feel when you're tapped in? What is it? Tapped in,
And tuned
turned
in, turned
on?
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been over the last few days, there's been a sense of calm. It's been a real sense of calm. Um, I was out in Indiana today. That's not too far from here, but I took the streets coming back because I didn't feel like dealing with the highway. I just felt like just mosey along and just, just enjoying, the calmness.
Actually take a different way.
Yeah.
Wow, what a concept.
Yeah. And just kind of like I was just enjoying the calm. And so that's where things are starting to go for me, where I'm just and people used to always tell me, oh, you're always so calm, but I'm good at showing that on the outside. A lot of times on the inside, something else going on.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I'm really starting to come from a more mental and more spiritual side of just being like, you know, my morning ritual has changed for me, things that I'm doing for me that suit me. I mean, I get up in the morning and I read a chapter of Psalms, and then I read a chapter of Proverbs, and then I read my scroll from the Greatest Salesman. Then I do my meditation, with Abraham Hicks. And by the time I've gotten there, I'm at a really nice
Yeah.
vibration. I'm at a really nice vibration. And
Didn't
some people might
didn't
think that what
didn't the
Abraham Hicks,
didn't the Beach Boys write a song on that?
yeah, good vibrations. Yeah. Yes, indeed. And some people might think that, especially religious people, might think that what Abraham Hicks is talking about is something that's foreign. But
Right,
I have found that a lot of people don't know their Bible as well as they think they do.
right.
And they're very similar concepts. And if the reason why you can't see it is because you don't understand the word. The word says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he."
Bingo.
It says it right there. Your predominating thought is what you're going to become. That's why it tells you to guard to guard what comes into your mind.
Yep.
Bring every thought captive. There's a
And
reason for that.
thoughts change your heart,
Yep.
that change your words.
Exactly.
And when people realize that, the verse for me today, man, there it is. My thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are not your ways, declares
Yeah.
the Lord.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so that was another verse that lean not on your own understanding. So
Mhm.
when people, because when I dive in to teach people how to connect, you wouldn't believe the Bible thumpers that come out of the works
I know.
and start
Yeah.
beating the shit out of me with scriptures. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I'm going like, that's all I do is I go, can I please get your interpretation on this scripture?
Yeah. They don't do
You
that to me. I wish they would, and I could explain it to them.
know? And then I'm going, so you're telling me you know what God was saying when he was saying this scripture, but it says in this scripture that your thoughts are not his thoughts.
Right. Right. And your ways are
Wow.
not his
How
ways.
about you let me get my thoughts from his thoughts instead of your thoughts?
Because in my experience, I don't know anybody else's experience, but the Lord seems to work in progressive revelation, and everybody is at a different point in their particular life. Lean not to your own understanding,
All on our own separate journeys, man.
right? But in all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He'll direct your path.
Amen.
See, so you may not be as far along the path as I am, because I can tell you the scriptures that I understood 20 years ago mean something totally different to me now.
Yeah.
Something totally different. There's a totally different perspective on that. And you go
Even
like, oh,
even this book changes for me every year.
I can understand that. Yeah,
Yep.
I can understand that. So, but that's
Ah,
where I am. And
thanks for sharing, John. It's like I think that people, again, like we talked about at the beginning of this, if you're not connected, then the way that I'm going to change my life is, John, I got to know what your morning routine is.
mhm.
And then when I don't do that, then I don't get results. So now I got to ask Shauna what her morning routine is.
Right,
And
right,
then
right.
Shauna tells me what her routine is. And so when I'm not diligent with that, then I got to ask Katie what her morning ritual is.
Right, right. And
And
you
it's
got to
like,
find what works for you. You really got to find what works for you because it's your journey. And you can't let anybody knock you off your journey. Your path is your path, and that's what I'm learning a lot
yeah,
now. Is that it doesn't matter what anybody else has to say or think about it. It's really irrelevant. It only matters what first of all, it only matters what God thinks, and
right.
then it only matters what how I respond to how He's thinking about me.
There it is.
That's all that really matters. And then
Yeah.
I
And
just go
I don't know
forward.
if I said this on the last inner circle. I'm constantly looking for words that again, everyone's got a different definition of a word.
Mhm.
So here we are in our lives trying to build a good relationship with other human beings with different thoughts on the definition of each word that we use.
It's true. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I can look at Katie and I'm going like, why don't you love me? And she's like, if you knew the definition of love, you've never had it this good.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
going, but she doesn't say that first part. She doesn't
Mhm.
say, if you knew my definition of love, I'm giving you all you should need. You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Right,
But
right,
my
right, right.
definition of love is, Katie, you never come and listen to the webinars that Josh does. Where in the hell is that definition of love? Well, no, you're supposed to be a supportive spouse. Do you know how much shit I've been putting up with while you're living your dream? It's like, is it going to bear fruit someday?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're funny people.
we
Humans are
are
funny, man. They
very
they
much
all
so.
got their own definitions of words. Because I think I brought this up to you before because it's cultural, John.
Yes, it
It's really
is.
cultural.
Very much so.
It
Very much
is
so.
this constant thing of looking, you disrespected me. And it's very cultural because I don't see this in other cultures. I don't see people like shoot people and beat people up because he disrespected me. And
Right,
I'm going like, I can't even tell you what the fuck that word means.
right, right.
If someone said, if someone said to me, Robert, you're disrespecting me, I would not know even how to define going back what I said or did that caused that.
Right, right.
Wow. So how can you stop disrespecting someone that feels disrespected when you don't know what to
Right, right. See, and really the biggest portion of that really is basically you bruise my ego. That's really comes down to.
Ah,
Yeah, what you said bruised my ego. So now I've got to respond in such a way to let you know that you bruised my ego. And sometimes people have not learned how to deal with their emotions. I want to give you a quick example in the animal kingdom.
please.
So I was looking at something. I was like watching animal shows, but they were talking about how the older animals were being killed because for their tusk, elephants. They were being killed. Well, what's happening is because the older elephants would normally go and teach the younger elephants not to bother the humans. But because they were killing the older ones, there was no one around to teach them. And so now the younger elephants are just attacking. And they couldn't understand why. But there's a thing in culture with elephants that the older ones learn to teach them how to be temperate around human beings.
Just avoid them.
Yeah. And so I was like, wow, you know, that actually translates over into human culture, because if you don't have the older ones to teach the younger ones, then the younger ones are going to go off and do whatever they do. And then the other older ones are too afraid to say anything to them. And now we have a culture of so-called disrespecting. You know?
Yes, deep, deep. And so the word that I know that I will be given the words, you know, as we continue to mastermind. The word that's really, really raining on me is the word inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all I want to do is be inspired to inspire you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to use words that are out of organized religion. Because if you guys have been around me for a long time, and I have a lot of people that, if there's a question that people keep asking me, they keep asking me, are you a Christian?
Mm-hmm.
And my response to that is, why don't you tell me what your definition of that is? And then I can answer yes or no. And that confuses them, because someone will ask me if I'm something when they don't have a clear definition themselves of what that is.
Right.
So that's why people get turned off if you say, you know, well, let's all give glory to Allah. Oh, man, things got to change. I'm never coming back here again. Well, can I change it to Buddha then? That's not good enough. Jesus is the only way. Okay. It's like, you know, when people don't know definitions of words and they won't share definitions with others, do you guys find it surprising that the whole entire world is in disarray?
Not at all. You know why? Because we live in a world of resistance.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah, what I seen that someone I'm sure Craig's so great at this. I think Anthony Arthur asked you, what book of Abraham Hicks would you reading?
It's the Vortex one. I don't have it. You have it with you right now? Because I'd have to run and grab it.
Is
It's
it
No. It's called
is it just the law of attraction, or is it money in the
no.
law of attraction?
No. It's the one that you just showed me recently, Robert. The one that you're using now to meditate by. Getting into the vortex. That's what it is.
Getting into the vortex.
Getting to your user guideline of meditation. It is
Right.
that one.
See how many different descriptions, if we just asked everyone really quickly to just unmute and give us their description of vortex. Here, I
found this on the web for how many different descriptions if we just asked everyone really quickly to just unmute and give us their description of vortex.
Oh my God.
Darn
Siri
smartphones.
doesn't even know.
Is it the audio, John?
Well, what happens is that when you order the book, they give you a code to download the
Okay.
meditation.
I want to make sure that I put the appropriate one
Right.
in the chat. So I found that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's the one you're using, Robert. That's the one I went back and looked at that, and
Yeah, and
noticed-
I'm slow but surely now going to I don't know if you guys have met Shirley.
and don't call me Shirley. You know,
Surely you jest.
Okay.
oh Shirley.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with being constantly plugged in.
Mhm.
People wonder where my humor comes from. Now I'm not going to get so much credit. I wouldn't have ever said that Shirley statement by myself ever. I seem to be very quick-witted when I'm connected.
Yeah, I could get that. I get that.
Yeah. It's like, because I'm not overthinking.
Right.
You know, because if my mind went, hey, this is a good place to throw that Shirley joke in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in allowing and trusting and allowing and trusting and allowing and trusting, I pray that each and every one of you, I wish for each and every one of you that you tap into this, because it's such a great place to live. It's like you're never worried about anything. You can't wait to talk to people because you get to use that. And so now I'm really diving in as deep as I can. I think I brought this up on the podcast that we're posting tomorrow, but I've dove in so deep into Esther and Jerry that I don't know if I said this to you guys, but Esther met Jerry and knew that he was extremely successful, and he was one of the top Amway distributors. And I'm going, and she said, you should see Jerry on stage talk about the principles of Think and Grow Rich. And so it is sort of neat how they gravitated together, and then constantly allowed this thing to happen with them, because I wouldn't mind having 75 million views on my YouTube channel, and doing
and you're going to have more than that.
And doing a workshop just with the people that found me and wanted to know more, instead of me being constantly and resisting, being pissed off all the time because people are not listening to me.
Yeah.
because they don't respect me, and they don't believe me, and it's hurting my ego a little bit. And so why would they dare do things their way when they don't know what I know? It sort of sounds so stupid. It's like, stop doing it that way. That's stupid. No, they'll figure that out. You don't need to point it out. Sooner or later, they're going to do what a lot of people have a tendency of doing, is surrendering and throwing up their hands and going, shit, I'm stopping everything I'm doing, and I'm going to frickin' listen this time. And I'll go, yeah, this time it might be a month. No, I'm going to leave that out of my language. Yeah. I'm just going to constantly love up on them and watch them. And you were talking about martial arts, and I talked about the red card. Simon Ree was my sensei. Man, he was in all the Mel Gibson movies.
Right.
And I've shared this with you guys before, but I just had this reverse axe kick that was just, people don't even know where it's coming from. And I could set it up, and I was showing him, and he's going, but when you lean to do that kick, you got to pull your hand closer, pull it all the way to your ear. He goes, because if you're fighting against Chuck Norris, you're going to get knocked out, because that spinning back fist is going to catch you right on the chin. And I'm like, wow, thank you. So I did the kick again, and he slapped me to the point where I seen the stars. And I just went, wow. Yeah. And he goes, I didn't hit your elbow. He goes, if you would have did what I told you, I would have hit your elbow, but your elbow wasn't there.
Listen, Robert, I had a similar experience. I was younger, and my brother-in-law was probably 3 times my age. I was probably in my 30s. He was in his 60s, and we're boxing. And he said something to me, and I didn't hear it. He said, if you keep your left low, you get hit with an overhand right. And I didn't hear that. And I just kept going. He said, if you keep your left low, you get hit with an overhand right. Yeah, whatever, old man, what old man? Hiya! Oh, if I keep my left down, I get hit with an overhand right. Oh, yeah. That's what you were saying.
John, you and I just talking right now is almost bringing me to tears, because I need to understand in everyone's journey that life has to give them that slap and that punch for them to stop doing the shit that they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it doesn't make a difference how many times that whisper comes. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like they even can tell you, hey, listen, if you just do this, it's not going to duplicate. You're going to be rebuilding your group every 60 days and you're going to quit. All right, I'll just keep doing it. And they keep getting hit and keep getting hit. And unfortunately, we watch people that die and never learn the lesson.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, or they got discouraged because of resistance and they quit the business and it's not for them. And then they build a blog and a YouTube channel on being a hater for network marketing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, John. I love you,
Thank you.
brother.
Appreciate
I
you guys.
love you, brother, man.
All right.
I love your journey. I really love your journey.
Well, I'm starting to love the journey as well.
Good.
John, thank you so much for sharing your tears with us.
Craig,
Could I have helped
take-
myself? Yes. No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Craig, you could take El Roker's job very easy.
I love you, man. Thank you so
Love
much.
you.
And shout out to Kimmery Horde on the YouTube because she gave us a donation for the kids. And by the way, there were some people that were asking or were saying hello to her. Her name is actually Kimmery, Kimarie. They thought maybe that I was saying Kimberly. So
That's a very, very unique name. That's pretty cool.
yeah, I agree. So Kimmery, thank you and welcome to the Inner Circle.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, coming up, Jerome Marshall. Next, Ms. Katie Sanders. Bring it, Katie. Open up and share with us, please.
What's up? What's up? Can we bring that back? Can we just?
Yeah,
bring
I think
that
we
back?
just
Super Bowl
did.
time. What's
We
up?
probably just did. Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yep.
Okay, so many things. I definitely was the chatty Cathy. I love that. I love it. I haven't changed. I'm not
Man.
gonna.
I was like, how do you get the, my constant deal was not only did they figure out early that I was challenged,
Right.
but in the midst of that challenge, it really, really helped me because it was like, we just cannot get him to focus on anything.
Well, and it reminds me one time my niece, my dad literally told my niece, "You talk so fast." She said, "Grandpa, you listen too slow." So, okay.
Yeah, I was.
So, I mean, points of view, right? Perspective. It's all perspective.
Yeah,
Um,
and so when you hang around the right people and they tell you all your disabilities or superpowers, that's really, really cool.
That's why, you know, my girls, we have our inner powers flashing at each other in our group text all the time. That's
Yeah.
just, we're the superpower group. Funny thing, because I have stopped reading my books and I literally have just been into my Bible.
Wow.
It has been so beautiful. So
Good for you.
it's
We always know when we're
it's a
in the right
beautiful love
place.
story. It's a beautiful connection.
Yeah.
No other. So
Yeah.
Going back to the owner's manual, I literally, so Zerlene turned 10 in December. I said, "I know you think mommy's crazy," and I am, but I'm like crazy fun. And you'll understand when you get to be older, but I need you to promise me that you will live by yourself, independently, paying all of your own bills, at least for 1 year before you get married. And she said, "Why?" I said, "Because it's really going to be important to you that you are going to be able to do that."
Yeah.
I said, "Just for 1 year." And she's like, "Cool, okay." I said, "No, this is like pinky promise. Like, you can't break it." I said, "When you get there and when you go through that, you'll understand everything." So that would be part of my owner's manual. So you guys, boundaries. Let me tell you about some growth I've been going through this last week. You know, the Fiery Fairy has been such a blessing. So I'm working with a local, it's like literally one of the oldest tobacco barns in Maryland. So we're having
Wow.
a big, huge Craig, I wish you could be here. We're having a big, huge Shamrock showdown. I'm getting live music, DJs, bouncy
Oh.
houses, like just all of the
Shamrock
things.
Showdown. I've
Yeah.
never heard of
Oh,
that.
I love it. I got to
That's
get
a
my
chat
outfit
GPT.
ready.
That's a Chat GPT ad right there. No joke. So working with a couple of other girls planning this event has been such a great experience for me.
Awesome.
No. So I had to set some boundaries. And I'm very like, I work with engineers, foreign military sales. Like, I need a yes, no. I need an answer. Keep it moving. It's just business. So I'm dealing with people like, yes, no, keep it moving. Like, well, I was being very passive aggressive and I hurt their feelings. I am so grateful God put me in this situation because I have grown in 24 hours, y'all. So I had to let people know, I appreciate that you think I'm passive aggressive. And I said, your opinion of me really honestly doesn't matter. And this is all business. I said, I'm sorry if you took anything I said maybe in a personal way, but she said, I said, she kept going on about, well, I think this and I think that. And I said, well, I just need you to realize about 10 years ago, I emotionally disconnected myself to people's responses to what I have to say. I said, and if we're going to work on communication and I'm doing my best to politely, very kindly and respectfully communicate, your reaction to what I share with you is really none of my business.
Right.
And I said, and I really encourage you, you're only 30. I really encourage you to get that mindset now because it's just really going to help you so much quicker.
Yeah.
So I'm passive aggressive, but I love that for me because it works. Just give me the fucking answer. Like, it's business. So it's like, keep your emotions out of stuff.
The reason I'm in this position is because I can create and I can make decisions quickly. That's why I'm here. If I wanted to talk about people's feelings, I would have wrote books or maybe songs.
Bro.
We could turn your feelings over to Taylor Swift and she can write a song about it.
Okay, don't you bring up, no Tay-Tay on this inner circle. None. None. We can't go from Bible to Tay-Tay, bro. We just can't do that. But it's funny because my posture was so solid because I believe in so much of what I'm doing with this event. And like, my whole vision is like just seeing all the kids just like rushing in to like love on all the Highlands and get their fairy hair and get some kettle corn. And I got the DJ that's going to be playing line dancing. We're going to have country line dancing lessons for an hour.
When you're creating and do that creation, it makes people feel good. I don't know any other place to be.
Yeah. And so it's like when we go back into that, like when you're connected, I call that I'm just completely unfuckwithable.
Yeah.
Like nothing can penetrate me because I am in cahoots with my creator. I know he's guiding my steps. He's guiding my words. He's putting me with beautiful little Gen Zers that our feelings get hurt really easily for a beautiful lesson on how to be patient. Fuck.
Yeah, moving.
Yes, look at me growing.
Dana, you guys remember Dana Scranton, I'm sure. You know, we need to do another mastermind on something because this guy comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever, but Dana Scranton is without a doubt the most. He's just got, again, the first words that come to me is he's got more degrees than a thermostat. And the guy is just so smart. I play messages to Terry that he leaves me because he always has like at least 7 words in there that I've never ever said in my vocabulary. But it's just the way awesome. It's just the way he talks. You know what I mean? And he was saying today as he's going because he wanted to know where I was headed and where I'm moving forward and da 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 da. And he's a great confidant, and it's neat to bounce stuff off of him. And he just said, "Man," he says, with AI replacing all these people's jobs, He goes, the only people that are going to be on top of the pile after this is all said and done is people that build communities that help people think for themselves. And he says, that's only going to be the only thing left. And today I heard something from LinkedIn, that LinkedIn did something like 412 careers. And out of the 412 careers, they said by the end of 2024, the year we're in, that over 65% of all the stuff they were taught will no longer apply. They're now saying that there's like 125 degrees that people get, and the degree that they have, that job description will not be what they're doing a year from now. And I'm going like, wait a minute. And when I told Terry about this, when I was a mechanic, I was telling Dana too, when I was a mechanic, the reason I have all those certs is because I had to rebuild differentials, which they call rear ends. I had to rebuild transmissions and automotive transmissions. I had to rebuild motors. And my professor is telling me, I've seen some of the new cars, something happens to them, they plug in a computer, it diagnoses cells, and then you order a part and you replace the part. No one's going to rebuild anything. Now, this is a guy that's getting a degree in automotive engineering, and they're telling me, hey, you learned all this stuff, just know in the future that you won't be using any of it. And I'm going like, that doesn't sound funny. What's funny about, so you guys, if any one of you have ever gone to car repair, there's still people in garages that do what I was trained to do. Crazy. And then there's other people that are like, hey, we'll order that part. It'll be here on Friday. Bring your car in. Well, there's no longer having your car for a month bullshit. Because we're rebuilding it. It's like, listen, the motor came in the crate. It'll take us about 4 hours to replace the motor. Come get it tonight. And it's like, so now, so what's going to be here? That's what Matt does to me all the time. Is, right, Dad, what are we going to be doing 3 years from now? And
and the cool thing about this event is 2 of the vendors that are coming, one is 11 and the other one is in high school. So I'm promoting like the local young entrepreneurs to come and get their stand out. And I'm not letting, they'll pay a small vendor fee. No, I'm not letting them pay a vendor fee. So that's another vision that I had with the Fiery Fairy. Because I want to be able to sponsor one of our youth for the Peak Youth Program. I want to sponsor one of their trips, but I want to make it so they really, not just write an essay, but what is your entrepreneurial skills? What is your gift? Like,
grab
think
your
of something
phone,
and create a business plan. Like,
grab your phone and shoot me a video.
Right.
When instead of writing an essay, hey,
oh, true, yeah. That's a good idea too. Like, think of how things will be a year from now, technology wise. Just shoot me a quick video. That's a good idea. Well, yeah. I'm super excited about that.
Terry and I recently bought one of the online things that Esther Hicks did. And so I think it was $49. And so you're supposed to send in a question or anything that you wanted to ask Abraham, right? And then if you sent a question in, then they would send you an email back and say, listen, we're doing this on Zoom. So record the question that you want to ask, make it less than a minute, and we'll show that recording, and then Abraham can answer it. I'm going like, wow. Because when you have more than 50 people on your Zoom, can you imagine if Craig,
oh, right.
Craig with 1,000, 2,000 people on there? Hey, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I think it just goes to just one more testimony, really, of just the inner circle just
Love
all
you.
the work that we've all put in, because
Love you, love you, love
even
you.
though that I might not be here on a Thursday, you know, Mary could have been talking on the previous Thursday, or Lisa or Jerome. We're all like the most beautiful tree
Yes.
with all of our roots. Like I think of like, God just put this on my heart. Like I think of the really pretty Hawaiian trees when the roots like come down, but they're all just intertwined.
Love you, Katie.
So
I'm seeing what some of you are doing. I know some of you follow
yeah,
Sandy. I know
yeah,
some of you follow Sandy, and I'm looking at the graphics and the stuff that she's putting
yeah.
out. And I'm going like, everyone that's
It's just,
stepping in, Matt teaching us those things
I
is
just
we're
love learning from everybody. Like you all
yeah,
touch my heart.
yeah.
So God brought onto my calendar, there's it's the Wellness House of Annapolis. And it's another vision like coming to fruition.
So cool.
It's a counseling camp for kids as they're recovering from cancer. So these kids for the whole, you guys, like we were just talking about this like last Christmas, getting in with the kids at the hospitals. So it's a week-long camp. It's in Annapolis. And these kids just get to go to summer camp. They don't have to talk about medicine or anything. They just get to be
Yeah.
kids. So the fiery fairy gets to go and add some sparkle.
You're amazing. What a gift
So
you are.
I'm just, my posture is there. My God is guiding all of my steps.
Yeah,
And
you use your
I
gifts.
I love all of you guys so much.
Love you too, Katie. Thanks for giving us an update.
Yeah.
You're something
It's-
special for damn sure.
And thank you. So now that you just said that, one of the last songs that I danced with my dad was I'll Do It My Way.
Wow. Wow.
I love you.
I love you too. Just don't ever forget that you're Katie fucking Sanders.
I fucking won't, Robert. I love all of you guys.
I love you too.
I hope you don't mind my sharing something here.
Please, come on. Da da da.
Katie, that's for you. And yes, I own that outfit. Love you, Katie. Thank you
Love
so
ya.
much for sharing. All right. Jerome Marshall, let's open up and please share.
Wow. How y'all doing? What's up, Robert? What's up, Craig? We gotta get
What's
you
up?
here.
What's up is my subscribers.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. We getting it, man. We getting it.
My total views, my income,
yeah, man.
impact.
Nah, man.
How are you, Jerome?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, and I'm feeling like a feather, man. I'm going. This is church on a Thursday. I had church last night. I had church on Sunday and Saturday, and because I hang out with James. He does a sermon, and he does
Do you live in Vegas too?
no, no, I'm in San Antonio.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you go
No,
to church on Zoom.
yeah, it's a Zoom. Yeah, he does his sermon on the third Sunday, and he does he gives inspirational messages. I mean, it's off the chain. And here with the Inner Circle, with this is y'all my family, and I have a couple things to say. Of course, Craig, go get your Oscar. You go get it, man.
All right.
And then Robert, you're going to hit 10 million views, man. I think by the end of this year. We go push behind you, man. We go push behind you.
We're gonna I'll tell you guys what I thought of. You know, whenever you're doing anything in life, you should just ask yourself what the outcome is. What is the most desirable outcome?
Right.
And my videos moving forward is going to be the kind of videos that as you're watching them, you're going to be inspired to pause them and share them.
I'm doing it already. Doing it
Okay?
already.
So yeah, I don't need to say any more. So my outcome now for videos is, you know, it does sound pretty crazy that I'm telling you guys moving forward is you need to be allowing and connecting, right? And virtually every live that I did was thought about, researched, prayed on, meditated on, and then AI'd.
There you go.
And I look back at the videos I've done for the last 2 years, and I needed to do those videos before I could do the ones I'm doing now.
It's all right.
And here was a thought. I thought, when I start really connecting with people and the law of attraction works for me, and virtually thousands and tens of thousands and millions of people start getting attracting to us, not me, us, is every one of you are going to have a different voice that's going to talk to those people that have ears to hear. Just like you get an album or you watch an actor and you relate to certain films they did, but you don't connect with other films they did. Are you guys follow me? And then you listen to an album and one track touches your heart, and then you say, you know, they pretty much wasted their time on the rest of the songs because they're doing nothing for me. What we never take the time to think is what song touched somebody else on that album.
Right.
They were always thinking, we're, you know, it's okay for us to be selfish, but it's like, you know, hey, I like this actor. And then why do we say when we like this actor, other people said, I wouldn't watch anything that person did? Isn't it bizarre? It's like, I don't know why it's taking me this long, because it's supposed to, I guess, where I'm starting to really be very aware that everyone's on their own journey. And it's unique to them. It's personal to them. And I got to love them where they are so they can know, like, and trust me to get them to go to the next level.
It's peaceful, man. It's the way I'm doing things now is why when I connect with people, I'm thinking about them, and I'm thinking about how can I help you get to your next level?
Whatever it is.
Yeah. I'm thinking about when together. And I'm not when they ask him about what I do, I tell them what I do, but I don't talk about products. I don't sell. I said all I do is just share what I have, what we do. And if you choose to the link up with me, let me know, and we could get you hooked up. You know, that's the mindset.
I usually explain to people when people ask me what I do, I usually say I help people like you.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I like that.
I just love. And so then if I can get them to share their heart, spirit, or whatever they are, and then they start telling me what they're doing, a majority of the time, not all the time, a majority of the time I go, so what would stop you from doing that?
Right.
And it's always two things: money and time.
Right. Well, you could add number three. Priority.
Yeah. And so when their mind opens up, and I go, so that's why people say that statement. So tell me, Jerome, don't know why it happened. You were able to rub the genie.
Rub it.
And the genie came out and said, you know, what's your 3 wishes? Right?
Yeah.
So you get your three wishes. I want health, I want happiness, and I want wealth. Bing. Your wish is my desire. Bam. And then all of a sudden you feel happier and you feel healthier. And you look in your bank and there's $20 million in the bank. So now what are we going to do?
What I'm doing is I'm going to be setting up programs for homeless veterans, for example. Number two, I'm going to be helping out ways to cure multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
And number, I'm going to be setting up basketball hoops in my neighborhood because I want kids to be healthy. I want kids to get the fuck outside.
Yeah.
Stop being inside all the time. You know? So that will be my three things.
So then when you share that with people and you say, okay, so what are you doing right now then to get that money in that time? I don't see an escape plan. Would you be open to one? would you be open to one? See, a lot of people are going to have a lot of thoughts about my escape plan, but they're still in prison. True. See, I'm standing outside of the prison going, hey, I know how to get out of there. And they're going, that nut shows up all the time. That guy's a squirrel, man. He's he's a nut. And it's like other people are going, yeah, but he's standing outside of the fence.
Right.
I did a little research on him, and he's been out of the prison for 37 years. It's like, why doesn't anybody want to listen to this guy about an escape plan?
Hey, some people some people are just stubborn, stubborn in their own way, and I was going to tell Katie, I'm a brother. I'm a black man, but I love Taylor Swift. That was before the whole Travis Kelce. Yeah. So I was just gonna let Katie know to just shake it off. Just shake it off and just and to John, I was gonna really commend him because there's not a lot of black swimmers. I'm one of them. Because I taught myself how to swim, and then at Boy Scout camp, I was on the aquatic team, and I teach others to swim, and I teach others how to do life saving and everything. So,
yeah,
I commend John for what he's doing, and I love when you say 2 or 3 are gathered in my name. He's in the midst, because I say that all the time, and I
absolutely.
And I also I mean I don't like to ask for stuff now. All I do for the most part when I'm talking to Jesus is I just thank him. I just thank him for everything. I thank him for life. Thank you for a new day. I thank him for sending people with ears to hear. And a desire to want to be successful for themselves and their families. And what I tell people also is I like to help create power paydays for those who are serious about changing their life. And that's it.
You're awesome.
I don't awesome. Bring up the products unless they ask.
It's pretty awesome, the webinar that they did today, man. They're adding products. There's a company that they're bringing in right now that they probably will finish before the end of March, but they have over 100 products.
Wow.
I mean, it was pretty cool when a company comes in and brings in 3. You know what I mean? But it's going to be very interesting moving forward. When people go, what happened to so-and-so company? Oh, they merged with MDC, all their products over there. You know what I mean? It's like, because, man, I know at least over 50 companies that we're just waiting for notices. People are not getting product. Merchant accounts are not working. People are not being paid. It's like,
Right.
it's just, oh my God. And, I don't blame a company for doing everything they can to just hang on as long as they could. The last company that did that to me and Craig and Melody, I finally called the owner of the company and just went, hey, I'm going to have to charge back on my credit card because I never got the product. And they go, yeah, I know. That's how long that I hung in, is that the number one money earner in the company no longer gets his product.
Oh, God.
And Craig was in the office. Craig every month and every week would see a couple of other people leave. Craig, wasn't you the last employee that they had?
I was one of the last ones to go. Yeah. I think actually it was 6 of us who shut down the office.
Well, then
Wow.
you're one of the people that didn't send me my last product order.
Let me talk to your manager. Oh my God.
Where'd he go?
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, it was an experience. I mean, I learned a lot from it. And I would just say, I hope I never have to do that again.
Yeah, you won't. You won't. We all get to learn our lesson. And I seen Kelly ask a question quick, Craig. So Jerome, any more?
Yeah. Also, I'm doing daily affirmations, by the way, too. But my last question to you is, who's your pick for the Super Bowl this weekend?
Ooh.
I love underdogs.
Okay.
Now, without getting in too many detail, how Kansas City could be the underdog in the last 3 games has been pretty fascinating for me. But even when I'm watching, it's like, wow, there's just some people you shouldn't bet against. You know what I mean? And because there's certain individuals that we watch that seem to be able to catch another gear when they have to. And there's other people that feel the pressure that they need to catch another gear and they don't. And it's like, because I haven't seen Purdy and the 49ers do that, because I'm not a big football fan. I love football. I love people. I just haven't watched a lot of games. So I'm unfamiliar with Purdy's ability, in the closing times to be able to do what, Mahomes does. So
well, I'll help you.
Jerome?
Oh, Jerome.
See, I think he did that on purpose. He goes, well, let me help you. Let me help you. And he just,
No. Here's my pick. I picked Kansas City 31 and San Francisco 24 because did you beat the
Jerome, turn off your camera for just a moment and then go ahead and speak, because apparently you've reached your limit, but we should be able to hear you. So turn off your camera, but still continue to talk. All right, now go ahead.
No, I picked Kansas City by 7, so 31-24, because Mahomes, he just beast. And you just, I mean, until you beat him, I can't go against him. So, and then like I said, Purdy played at Iowa State. So, that's it, man. Love and appreciate you guys.
Well, Jerome, I've never seen this picture of you wearing a Vikings hat, but I'm telling you what, you definitely know how to put up with disappointment.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. That's why my heart is strong. I'm bruised up, man. I'm bruised up, but I'm strong. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, you keep the faith, brother. That's wow. It's like
I'm not
that's
I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm not even going anywhere. So thank you, man. Thank you for all you do.
thank
Like
you.
I love and appreciate y'all, and let's get it, man. I'm excited. Let's get it.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Jerome, thank you so much. Now, there's a question from Kelly, which I think you can answer pretty quickly, and then Coach
Okay.
Bob has his hand up. So, should we go
Let's
to
do
Kelly
it.
first, and then go to Coach Bob?
Okay.
All right. Kelly's question is, let me do this. Okay. Kelly's question is this: how does an inexperienced person as myself approach brands to merge with MDC? I have one and I want to approach.
Um, my first question as you're reading that question is for those of you that do pray, let's pray for Kelly's speedy and rapid, total, complete recovery. And I have one and I want to approach. The only way that I know how to do it right now is just through that brand directory link. If you do it through the brand directory link, and do it for them, you know what I mean? And make sure that you do that connection. That's the only way to do it. And as far as inexperience, Kelly, I just want you to know that you should be able to trust yourself to understand and know that if you're connected, you're not unexperienced.
Okay, Kelly says
what?
that there she is. Go ahead, Kelly.
Hey, can y'all hear me very well? I have my
Yeah.
headset on and I have one arm, and so I'm the one arm bandit this week. But so my question is, though, I guess as far as being inexperienced, I went through the back office and I found the information about brand partners, but I don't know the back answers, like to approach them and say, hey, I found a company that sells this really great all natural toothpaste and that sells this deodorant, like products that we don't even have.
Right.
And I think that they're a green company, and three ladies that started the business in their home, and they just really intrigue me. And I want to reach out to them and say, hey, you know, but I don't know the logistics. So would you encourage me to get a hold of someone else, like maybe Candace, and say, Candace, what?
No, what I would do is the first thing that you want to do is connect with the people that actually have the product to see if they'd be open to something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And just go, and if they go, because most of them, when you first start out, they'll be confused. You know what I mean? We all, when we don't understand stuff, our first place is confusion. I don't understand. So then what you could use is like instant ageless. Just say, listen, I don't know if you've heard of this product. You can find them online. And they used to be with another network marketing company, but now they market their products through, now MDC. And so you could show them pages and stuff of that, and then talk about some of your other favorite brands that are not in-house brands. And then just say, hey, would you guys be open at all to, me, connecting you directly with the company and see if this could be a win-win.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was wondering. I think maybe I was trying to read too much into it, and you know what I was trying to do, Robert? I was
overthinking.
I was overthinking it to the point where I needed to know all the information, and I don't. I just have to point, guide, and direct.
I don't know if you've seen this link, Kelly, but this is on the front of the main page at the very bottom, and it will say brand partnership. And, maybe you could look at that and go through it and see some of the questions so that you're prepared and talking to them.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason that you want to help them do it is that if they decide to, merge with MDC and say they already have a group of affiliates and distributors that are already marketing their products, then when they bring those all over, then they would also be underneath you.
That's what I was wondering. That was my next question, is if I bring someone in, what kind of credit do I get for that? Like,
Yeah.
do they become my team?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that is definitely, so that's all you got to do. You're just trying to find a win-win for people. So there's no doubt in my mind that you can do that, Kelly.
Well, not only that, but I mean, I can see the potential for them. I mean,
Yes. Oh my God.
there's so
People
much
create,
potential and so
you know,
much
we got,
money
I
that
don't know if Rebecca's still on here, but Rebecca and her incredible partner, Dee Dee, are, you know, they work with Plant Advent. And so they do the, you know, the tea, they call themselves the tea ladies. And so those are in my group. Damon Coleman with Essentials is in my group. Tara with Fabulous is in my group. Candice Burr Davis now is a brand, which is in my group. It's like I'm starting to get quite a few brands in my group, which is pretty cool.
I love that for you. I love that for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the connections and you know, honestly, I see such potential, like I said, for these brands, you know, like maybe they don't have a facility because most of them produce their own brands and they just send the product to the company, right?
It's just like Shark Tank, man. I'm telling you, MDC is turning into, you know, Shark Tank really, really easy. It's like people come out with great. Here's the funny thing. Don't you guys find this interesting? I believe that the best quality products in the world that were invented by people that have unbelievable desire and scientific knowledge and formulation and biology and all this stuff. They have those gifts to create those products without a doubt are the best. And they couldn't market themselves out of a wet paper bag.
Right. Right.
So
but
it's
the
the
people that we
win-win of
reach.
that. You know what I mean? Because if you guys are waiting for me to develop a product, you might as well find someone else to follow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because God's gifted me with the ability to create inspiration in other people to get them to believe that they can do it and build an organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why the product doesn't mean much to me, because I keep thinking, you know, if you owned a Walmart, I used to say a McDonald's, but if you owned a Walmart, you know, just how many people are going in there and do you really care what they bought?
You know, though, seriously, the more we build in our company and the more products and the more people and the more, pretty soon, all of these other companies are going to be like, whoa, wait a second. What are we doing over here selling two kinds of eyeliner why are we building a company? And that, like, pretty soon we are going to be off the charts, you know, something for everyone.
I want
an opportunity
I
for
want
everyone.
That. Yeah, I want that for sure. I definitely do.
Me
So
too.
thank you, Kelly. I love you.
Oh, I love you too, Robert. Thank you so much. I know I haven't really been really present, but I'm still doing it.
Well, you got to take care of you and you got to take care of your family. That's most important.
Do you know how to get a one-armed girl out of a tree?
Way better.
Yes. I might as well make jokes because it's been a kind of rough 2 weeks, but I'm good now.
Oh
I'm
my
good.
God. When I hurt my shoulder, it's like you just feel like wow, I had no idea how much I use this arm.
You know, I had 2 complete tears in my rotator cuff.
Wow.
Like all the way through, and one had retracted back because, you know, we don't go to the doctor unless we're dying. And so I let it go for like a year. And by the time I went in, it had retracted so far that when I had my surgery, he actually had to staple on a cadaver piece of cartilage and then pull it down and drill into the bone and hook it on 2 of them. And they also had to cut my bicep tendon and reattach it. So It's been a really rough couple of weeks.
Wow.
Listen, this is a pretty, it's been a little bit, I'm learning patience.
How'd you mess up your shoulder from slapping people?
Yes. But don't test me because I still have one good arm.
I love
Actually,
you, Kelly.
you know what it was? I'm too old to own a pop-up camper and try to jack that thing up myself.
Wow, man.
I just tore the crap out of it. But anyways, if anyone's in the market for a pop-up camper, I have a really nice one for sale.
You know the new ones, it's electric,
I know. Thanks for that, Robert. You're always full of information.
Yeah, there you go.
I love you. I
I
appreciate
love you
all you
too.
guys.
Thanks for
Thank
jumping
you.
on. You bet.
Thanks, Kelly. And please get better. Take it easy, one step at a time, because I also had shoulder issues and not fun. Not fun at all. All right, Coach Bob, let's do this. Go ahead, unmute yourself, and please share with us.
Hey guys, hey, Kelly, I hope you're feeling better. Oh, prayers to you. I hope you're in bed again. I know you were sleeping on that what chair or whatever, but recliner. But
How you doing, Bob?
hey, great, awesome. And yourself?
Oh, blessed and highly favored and deeply loved.
So I was really motivated last week on doing videos online. So I
Good.
started, but I'm just doing sports. I enjoy sports picks, so I'm doing those. My question to you is, or Matt, or Craig, is like, so reels, is it about 1 minute then you want to keep them at? And
Yes.
then you want to go to, and the biggest one is like YouTube, right? But I'm on like Instagram, and then I do Twitter, and then I do Facebook also.
Okay. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I would just do YouTube and TikTok, but only if, here's the interesting thing about social media, right? And I heard someone who's got over 3 million subscribers. I was watching a training with them yesterday on YouTube, right? And someone asked that exact question, but he was like, listen, if you grow a following on another platform, but all you're doing is trying to navigate them to the platform you would like them on, imagine spending that time where you're posting and looking at the stats on other things on just making the quality content on the platform you want to grow on. And the reason he brought that up is he said every single platform has a different attention span, has a different audience. There's so many things that go into it, right? Like, so if someone's on Instagram, they may not be looking for video content in the same way that someone on YouTube or TikTok would be, right? They may be looking for pictures, they may be looking for other things. So what ends up happening is you're like putting a bunch of the same content on a different place, like, and we've experienced this. You take a YouTube video that does very well, a YouTube short, and put it on TikTok, and it doesn't do as well. Why? Because the TikTok audience doesn't really care for motivational advice in the same way that the YouTube audience does. Maybe the people on TikTok aren't looking for that audience, that information, right? And then
we know TikTok like Santas.
That's very true. Yes. And comedy, honestly. Like if you're comedic and you have like a good sense of timing and you're good at, there used to be this service that existed back in the day called Vine, and TikTok's similar to that in a way. And I watched a lot of the people now that are big on YouTube start on Vine. And it's like, one thing that's really cool about getting good at making short form content is all you have to do, and this is the same in like a lot of things. If you can write a really good novella, odds are you can repeat that 4 times and make it into a book, right? But if you're not capable of writing just one good small part, then odds are the whole book's not going to be very good, right? It's better to be great and refine your process and then grow it than it is to start at the tippy top and then figure out how to do it all. Another thing that I learned, you guys, that's very important information is he straight up said, he's like, I do not look at my shorts audience and my video audience as the same people in any way, because they're not.
Wow.
He's like, when I do shorts and when I do long form content, I don't even get the same audiences. So I know now when I make long form videos, who's watching those and then what quality that is. And then the short form content, I know who's watching those, right? And it's different for every single platform. Like it's going to become even more so the case, right? So it's like, okay, how many people on Instagram are looking for sports advice? Right? Maybe that's a lot, maybe it's not. That I know you do the research and figure that out, but on YouTube, I'd probably say, you know, there's whole podcasts and whole channels that get millions of views off sports.
Right.
So I would say YouTube's a great avenue for that, but I'm not really involved. Like, I'm going to be honest, I'm not really involved in these other platforms as much as YouTube because I believe YouTube's the next version of television, as if it isn't already. And I think when YouTube implemented short form content, I think it's only a matter of a ban or it's a matter of a couple of changes before TikTok no longer is big and YouTube owns all of their market share as well.
Sure.
Because what's going to end up happening is people that make great shit flock to the place that pays them the most money for making great shit. And TikTok does not pay you very well. Instagram and Facebook do not pay you very well. We could say this by firsthand account that, you know, Instagram and Facebook only work as funnels to another place. Making money on those platforms can be very hard. On YouTube, we already got people in this community that are making income on YouTube that started since we started this. So it's like, oh, great. How fast can we get, like my dad says, documentation beats conversation? How soon can we get them a payday or a payout or get them used to what they're doing? YouTube, that just takes consistency and time. Like you will eventually accumulate enough stuff to monetize. And then it's just a matter of bringing your stuff on here if you want. I'm going to do that with Lisa Marie next week. But it's just refining it, going, what's been really working for me? Right? And some people, it's hard to discern that. I know that you're like me, you like diving into stats and figuring stuff out like that.
Right.
So for you, you'd be like, okay, I'm going to figure out what this acronym means or what this means or what this means. And it's just a process of consistency and knowing the audience that you're speaking to. Because if you were advertising sports on maybe like A&E or something like that, like imagine we were talking about TV channels and you're trying to advertise a product to an audience that has no interest in it, right? Your return on that's not going to be very good. But if you can figure out a pitch that works for that audience, of course, there's still an in there. There's always that in there. But I would go to the place where you have the highest chance of success. And in my opinion, that's YouTube, right?
Okay.
Not saying don't post your stuff on other things. I'm not saying that. You can repost, but focus is more important. Like I'd say focus on, if you want to do the sports stuff, try each short or each video to get a little bit better at giving the information in less time. It's more energy, more, you know, I always say if you can get the same message out with less seconds, less minutes, do it. Always. Even if it messes up, even if you feel like it cuts the flow a little bit, people are so like this with information now that they don't even notice. And if you watch yourself, if you think about yourself watching videos, you'll notice how much you don't notice. Right? And so it's like at first when my dad is one of those rare people that could sit in front of the camera and speak for an hour and you don't have to edit it that much, right? Because he's just practiced at, yeah, he doesn't need a million jump cuts because he doesn't really make mistakes. And if he does, he just plays off the mistakes.
Right.
But for everyone else that hasn't had that practice, sometimes you need a lot of edits and you're going, man, I said one sentence and then I had to edit it. I said one sentence and I had to edit it. Nobody cares. The most important two qualities are, is it entertaining? And did I get the information across that I wanted to? What was the outcome of what I'm creating here? Right? What am I trying to elicit a feeling in that? Do I want to elicit excitement? And here's an interesting thing I'll share with you guys. There is a new GPT that I've been using, and you'll like this one, Coach Bob. So I was sharing it with my dad yesterday. I'm going to link it in here. This one's called YouTube SEO Wizard, right? So someone took the time to feed a lot of SEO and metadata and things into ChatGPT. So I'll share my screen here if I can. I think I can. You guys see that?
Yep.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, so if I wanted to make a video, right? Someone throw a title or a niche or something about a video. Anybody? Dad, throw something at me.
Growing cabbage.
Always the best.
Are you? Do you have a garden, Robert?
No, of course not. Okay, so it's going to search its knowledge. Here's one thing I love about this bot, you guys. It gives you keywords, but it also gives you emotional strategies. So now you're going to see if I want to elicit curiosity, here's a title for curiosity. If I wanted to elicit fear of missing out, here's a title for fear of missing out. If I want to elicit hedonism, which is like something's pleasurable, right? Sense of belonging, tension and suspense, scarcity, personalization, hope and optimism. And of course, just like anything with GPT, you could keep going with this. But what's so cool, if you guys don't know about this, is one of the main things you think of when you do marketing campaigns is what emotion you're trying to elicit in the audience that's watching it. And Apple is really good at this. You'll see it over the Super Bowl.
Put sports betting in there.
But yeah, you want to try your best to elicit a feeling. Like a lot of people are very interested in how they come across in the video. And the difference between someone that's really great at YouTube or filmmaking or any of these things and that person is that they're thinking of the audience. They're not thinking of themselves or how it reflects on them. They're going like Alfred Hitchcock, how do I play with the audience? How do I move them from point A to point B? Those feelings, those experiences. So if I didn't know something about sports and now I do, even if it's a quick sports fact, and it could be as niche as possible, you just gave me information that I didn't know before. That's worth it, right? And we'll see my dad tell a story about a bank robber, right? And that will get more views than the personal development videos. Why? Because it's entertaining. They don't have to think. They could just watch it, hear a funny story, and leave, right? And some people just want that. You have to make content for different types of people. Some people like me will sit down and watch a 30-minute video essay on a subject. Other people, if you don't make it 60 seconds, they're out. Like they're out before that 60 seconds. So it's figuring out what type of audience you want too. So, but
Yeah,
this is one of those really cool tools.
How I embarrass my buddies in sports betting.
I mean, how I titles, things like that definitely do work really, really well. Like one of the cool things, let me stop sharing my screen so you guys can see me. One of the really cool things about developing in this area is you always can pivot in a different direction, right? No one's stopping you from going, I'm going to try a sports channel and then change my mind and try something else. It's such a like open place to try new things or to even try new video ideas because it's so stats based. Like if you can disconnect your emotions and how you think people will respond to you and put all of that energy into watching what works and what doesn't work and doubling down on what works, you'll see consistency because now you'll get that feeling like I've slowly started transitioning Craig into doing most of our shorts, right? And I gave him the tools with Vizard and I went, here's how you do it and everything. Craig, is it addictive to do the shorts and then watch them get views or get likes or get subscribers? And you go, that one worked. What did I do well right there that made that happen?
Oh,
and
absolutely.
It's like,
yeah.
It's addictive because you're trying to figure out, and it works for me and Craig because we're not doing any of the videos, right? Unless if it's the podcast. So It's like, great. My dad's video did good, right? I don't have to have any personal, like, oh, did I look good in this video? Or why am I looking in that direction or whatever, that we all get. But you get over that stuff after you focus more on the more important stuff. So.
Yeah, at first it was kind of hard. It took me a long time. It took me about 3 or 4 hours for just a minute, you know what I mean? Just to get through to edit it. I had to go through it 4 or 5 times. I'd slip up. Now it's getting a lot faster. And I
Yeah.
did sports, just the sports thing because I enjoy it and I
Yeah.
want to get better. And then I was thinking about getting an SEO stuff and all that other stuff, but
Yes.
I'm just doing this at first. So
Right.
thanks a lot. You're such a valuable information. I get
Well, thank you.
such valuable information from you guys here.
I try. I mean, I know these guys
People-
try as well. So
And Kelly asked me, how did Matt get so smart? And, sort of like a giggle, like I had anything to do with it. You know what I
okay.
mean?
I actually saw a really interesting thing that someone said here. Anthony said, my issue is I have a hard time getting excited while on camera. One of the interesting things about actors, right? If you watch actors and it's similar in front of the camera, they are very, especially the good ones and the people that are good on YouTube and stuff, they're very good at getting their energy prepared before they even get in front of the camera.
Wow.
They're not thinking about the energy once they sit down. They're thinking about the energy 35, 40 minutes, an hour before they're getting there. And so when you sit in front of the camera, you're either already excited or you've thought of something funny or you've thought of, here's another really great thing, right? Think of some good jokes. Think of something that's funny before you say what you're going to say. So instead you come into what you're going to say with a smile and excitement, right? You can trick yourself. And in that case, you'll trick the audience. That's what acting is, right?
Yep.
It's not like you're actually having all of these emotions. You're just good at showing that. You're good at eliciting those emotions in others by showing that. So
it's actually called
these two have way better information.
Yeah, it's actually called getting into state.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to watch when you watch the Olympics or you watch somebody in sports and, especially in mixed martial arts, because the guys got the headphones on. They used to show Michael Phelps at the Olympics. You know what I mean? And he's not around anyone. He's got the headset on and he's
legitimately that's me before I get on the podcast every single time.
Yeah. It's
for me, it's you have
getting in the zone.
You have to, because if I don't, then I feel unprepared. Like it's just something in me, and it's because I love the film stuff and I grew up around my dad, so I've seen him get hyped right before getting on stage or something along those lines. It's all about putting yourself in that energy state. And like my dad said, if that's listening to music for you, if that's running around or doing a quick jog before you sit down or something like that.
My mentor I know my mentor taught other people than me, right?
Right.
And so it's pretty easy for me to get excited and pull into that gear, but that's practice. And Matt and Craig sent me a video not too long ago. I don't know if you guys want to post it here, but they were just interviewing all the different people that have big channels now. And they were just saying, Mr. B said, I tell people, do 100 videos and then reach back out to me. Because majority of time, they're not going to do it. And he goes, what blows me away is people that are willing to do 100 videos, they figure it out as they're doing the 100 videos. You know what I mean?
Because you don't even know what you want to make stuff on until you got that done.
Because I think most of doing the video, just doing the stuff is actually learning to get out of your head. Because you're thinking of PowerPoints and you're thinking that I want to cover these points and I need it to be interesting. And I hope I got the lights right. And I hope I got the mics right. And I got all of this stuff. To then all of a sudden you go where my head is. Okay, I want to inspire this person to take action. I don't give a shit about me anymore. It's like, why am I interested in getting a point across to you? I'm not. I want you to go, this fucking guy's nuts. This guy, this auto mechanic with that stupid laugh. And I'll tell you where it really changed my mind and who I am. Now, when people say hating comments, they're funny to me. They're really, really funny. And then I respond as so. So I think I shared with you guys where someone said, if you didn't say gooder and gooder, 9 times, I think you were serious. And I'm going, who's bullshitting? I said, if I said it's 6, you still wouldn't have got in. You said 9 was an overshot. Come on, man. If I said Gooder 6 times, you're still not interested. And he didn't reply. He didn't reply. It's like it's like one of those things where, when I was younger, Bob, and I know you probably did this too. It was, who could say a joke about another person that made them the butt of the joke, so everyone that was drinking could laugh at them. So it was this classic thing where you'd always go, well, Bob had to tie a T-bone on his neck to get the dogs to play with him. You know what I mean? It's like you just keep going back and forth. So that's one thing that I realized that haters don't like, is that you get humor out of them teasing you. See, if them trying to hate on you and get a reaction makes you laugh and giggle, they fucking failed. So just think of that when people are reaching out. It's like one guy posted, he said, this guy never missed a meal. And my response to him was, if I did, I'd be hungry. Are you hungry? And I've now seen 5 people playing around with this. There's been 5 comments that were not nice that I made a comment back, and they deleted their own comment. That's when you know you got it. When you say, Matt?
I'm sorry, I was responding to a comment. What were you saying?
I said, if someone gives you a hate comment,
yes,
you respond to it in a hilarious way, which is the opposite way that they wanted you to take it. And then they delete their own comment from your reply. That's when you know you.
I think it's a troll reversal card, right? Isn't that the way it is?
The only other thing,
yeah.
Matt, thank you so much. So I wanted to say to people, Matt is obsessive like his father. If there's any DNA that sort of slipped through, I'm glad that I do my best to lead by example. But Matt's like me, man. He is obsessive in learning. He doesn't want to be average. He wants to win at everything he does. And because of the time and effort that he puts into it, it always shows excellent results. And one of the things that I would tell you to Bob to do, and also other people that are listening to this, man, focus on something that gives you the most joy. Just do that, because that's what I'm dealing with right now, Bob. I've had this whisper of unlimited wisdom for a while, and the pushing through to believe that inspiring others to be the best they can be, to get them to think for themselves, to get them to believe in themselves, to be a miracle, just be like we've heard tonight, from Katie, just be fucking unstoppable. You just got the full armor and you're going to kick everyone's ass. I actually visualize that. You know what I mean? Hey, I got to get up in the morning and feed my kids and my wife. And it's like, I'm putting the armor on, the shield on, and the sword, and I'm going to go slay some fucking dragons, man. And I just love putting that in my mind, because I know that I don't expect it to be smooth. I expect it to be worth it. And so, I just tell people, find out the thing that you get the most joy talking about and just double down on that, talking about sports betting. You know what I mean? It's like, because I consistently fall into what makes me money, because I'm good at it. Man, I can create cash flow like no one's freaking business. It's if I don't teach people to connect and figure out why they're doing it, then they just end up stop doing it, or they get, you know what I mean? It's like if people are not doing this for the right reasons, they're how do you stay consistent? There's very few of us where, Coach Bob, I really see this when Matt asked me where I'm going to be 3 years from now. I see most of you still being a part of whatever we're doing 3 years from now.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
And it's like all of a sudden the channel becomes pretty crazy, because we have numerous people that are not only doing their muse or what they're involved in, but a lot of people might look at a lot of us a couple of years from now, or even a year from now, and they go, I really don't understand this. This is a group of people, and Bob's doing sports betting, and Lisa Marie is got this petting zoo, and rescuing animals, and we got John Tier that's raising money to go help children in hospitals. I don't even know what the hell all these fucking people are doing. It doesn't seem like they're, and they have no clue. They have no clue where we started, right? They have absolutely no clue where we started. And I just think that's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
For 3 years, yeah.
But you have
Thanks so
to.
much. Huh? Oh,
you
yeah,
have to.
Yeah. I will.
That was one of those downloads. I try to help people with their language, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, I can't wait. That means you're going to quit.
No, I didn't mean it like you know what I meant.
I did. That's why I changed it.
I know.
Oh my God.
I love and appreciate you guys.
I was going to say,
are the
imagine
best.
growing up with them. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate you guys.
I won't say what son it is, but when they were doing their driving test, right? And they said, well, what if I fail? And I go, well, let's go get that over with. They allow you to test numerous times.
I think that was me.
Yeah, and it
sounds like something I would say.
Yeah, and it was like, what? And I go, listen, we're going to go down there. You're going to see exactly how the test goes, so you don't need to be nervous. And because you're really not interested in passing, just go through the questions so you can get, so you can just see the kind of questions that they're going to ask, so you don't feel like you're under so much pressure. And I just remember it like it was yesterday. It's like, when you do that to somebody and they go, oh, so we're going to go down there and you don't expect me to pass? Who gives a shit if you pass or not? And it's like, well, let's go do that right now. Isn't it weird? Because all the nervous was around, oh my God, what if I flunk? And then people are going to look at me weird, and then shit, I'm going to think bad about myself. It's like, let's get you out of your head. Let's go check out what happens. And of course, we went down there and Matt took the test and you passed.
Yay.
But you guys really, I think what's really unique in closing this up is, man, I just wish that all of us would just constantly proclaim our uniqueness. You got to just keep going. Man, I am not like anybody. And that's a good. That's really, really, really good. When I was showing Matt and Kyle how to drive, because I homeschooled them, so driver's education is right here. And I remember Kyle has different skills and talents than Matt has, right? And Kyle just has this directional thing. He's got it. And so Matt would be driving, we're just got to put in our 40 hours, and then Matt would stop. And as soon as he would stop, I go, why are you stopping? And he goes, I don't know where we're going. And Kyle goes, listen, if you want to go home, you need to take a left right here. And as you drive a couple of blocks, you're going to see the Taco John's, and then you can take a left there. And Matt's like, how in the hell do you know where we are?
When they invented smartphones and Google Maps, I was like, am I manifesting this or what? Like, this just every single time I struggle with something, it seems like someone just invents something to make it easier for me. So
yeah. And
now I don't get lost.
And now Matt has his beautiful wife. So every time we go someplace,
and she's really good at it.
Matt just gets in the car and drives. And
I'm
he
the
just
driver
drives,
always.
He's talking to me. He's not paying attention to anything. And then all of a sudden, this cute little voice in the back seat goes, Matt, this next exit is the one you got to take. It's like a mile and a half up. And he's like, thanks, sweetheart. Starts turning on his blinker.
I go over 5 lanes because it's California.
Oh my God. Yeah. when we all can love our who we are, what we don't do good, what we do good, and then focus on stuff that makes us happy. It's the key. So I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys did. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. And Craig, why don't you check us out of here so we can go spend some time with our families?
All right. I love the sound of that. We've got to give first, if you want to save the information in the chats, YouTube already has it. Plus, after this is done, the links and things that we've posted in the chats will be in the description below. If you are, if you want to get all the other information from Zoom, it's very simple. Click on the 3 dots in the chat and then click on Save Chat. It will download to your computer. Very simple from that. Shout outs. Oh my gosh. Thank you everybody for participating on this amazing, I know it's not an AMA, but still it was amazing Inner Circle. Bill Shoemaker, John Tier, Katie Sanders, Jerome Marshall, Kelly Davis, Coach Bob, and of course, Matt Hollis. Matt, thank you so very much. Not only for your knowledge, but for being our executive producer. We appreciate you and we love you. You're the foundation for everything that we do here on this amazing network.
Thanks, Craig.
And of course, Robert, bless you, my friend. Thank you so much. You know, you are also an amazing part of this amazing journey that we are taking as part of the Inner Circle. Just a reminder that we have the Unlimited Wisdom podcast premiering episode 2 tomorrow. So watch the channel for that. It'll be at roberthollis.com/YouTube, approximately 1 p.m. Pacific. And the topic, which is really, really good, in fact, kind of helps with what we discussed today, and Robert kind of alluded to it during today's presentation, how to build confidence. Wow, we had an amazing discussion. Please join us for that, and that'll be tomorrow on the YouTube channel, roberthollis.com/YouTube. And thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us and be a part of our breakthrough session, this Inner Circle. Without you, we could not do this. We also have the Ask Me Anything on Saturday, starting at noon Pacific, so please join us then. Until next time, be good to yourselves. Be cash. Bye-bye. I'm going to unmute so we can all say so long.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Dad.
Love
Thanks,
you all.
Craig.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
Thank you,
Oh,
Robert.
so very much.
Thank you,
Bye,
Matt.
everyone.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Linda.
Love
Thank you,
you,
Shauna.
Robert.
Thank you,
Love
Bill,
you
Bob.
so much.
Jerome.
Thank you.
Thank you, John Deere Tractor. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Kai. Matthew, Arthur.
This is wonderful. This was awesome. I loved it.
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Thank you,
Peter
thank
and
you.
Linda. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Eric, Daniel.
Love you
Rita.
so much. Thank you.
Melody, I love you. Thank you, Kelly.